Hey YouTube, welcome to 2019. It's been a little while since I did a video, but I wanted to at least welcome you to the new year and let you know that I'm not dead, and maybe pass along a piece of advice that has served me very well. But we'll get to that at the end of the video. Let's talk about focus and attention in some of my experiments over the last few months. So I've already talked about my cutting back on social media in prior videos, so I won't really dwell on that, but I did want to add a small update that I believe I am completely out at this point. No Facebook, no Twitter, no Instagram, much to the chagrin of some of my family members and a few people who wondered where I went online. But on the whole, it's been very positive, and we'll get into that a little bit later. The only outlet that I really leverage these days is my Discord chat channel. It's a small community of artists and people who are interested in game art. So if that describes you, there's a link in the description to join up to the server. It's free. There's no obligation, no weirdness. It's just a place to hang out and interact with people who are friendly and helpful. So the one thing I will admit to is that the chat channel is not growing nearly as quickly as it was when I was pushing it on social media. So I'm tasting a little bit of the backwash there. So it's not all roses. But let's get back on topic. I've been investing a lot of my time and energy into ways to improve my focus and my flow state. Now, I know that sounds a little artsy, but whatever. What it simply means is, my ability to get work done in a focused way. I've been reading books on the topic, watching videos on it, and slowly changing my mental state to one that's less cluttered with distractions. One thing social media is really good at is giving you things to be distracted with. It's an endless parade of memes and manufactured outrage and stress-inducing headlines. Without that feed of negativity piping into my head continuously every day, I'm noticing my head is starting to get into a better place. It's peaceful. It's creative, and as an artist, that's where I need to be at my best. So to finally come around to that piece of advice that I promised you, the best piece of advice that I ever received for dealing with the world around us came from a family member, believe it or not, who said this to me years ago, but it never really clicked until recently. And what it basically boils down to is that if the situation you're anxious or worried about is not one that you can directly control the outcome of, then cut it loose. If you can't exert control over the thing in question, then worrying about it is taking up mental energy that is basically being wasted, in a very literal sense. And the worst part is, because you can't control it, you can't end it. So it's going to keep popping up in your head several times a day, and you're going to lose focus and intensity over it. Even if you don't want to, your brain is very good at continually reminding you about things you're worried about. And you can't even schedule a time to deal with stuff like that. Like, well, at 2 o'clock, I'm going to spend 15 minutes eating ice cream over the kitchen sink and fretting about the government or worrying about the economy or whatever. That won't work, because that won't resolve it. Your attention and focus each day is limited. It's a resource like time or money, and you have to choose how to spend it. So stuff like the government, the economy, what some random internet person said about you or your work, your flight is delayed, stuff like that. When you allocate space in your head to those sorts of faux worries and anxieties, you're leaving less room for things that matter, like focusing on your work, which you can directly control, or focusing on your personal relationships, which has tangible benefits for you. So stop looking at stuff you can't control. Stop paying attention to it, and put your damn phone down when I'm trying to talk to you. Anyway, I hope that was useful in some way. I hope to make more videos in 2019 on topics like this, and also obviously a bunch about MODO and game art. I've recently started to get into scripting, thanks to William Vaughn's new book, and my recent love affair with Python. I spent my Christmas break kind of getting up to speed with Python and trying little projects and trying to get familiar with the language, because I knew that William's book was coming out. So by the time his book came out, I was pretty comfortable. So I dove into his book, tore through that, And now I'm starting to make little projects and trying to teach myself some useful MODO scripting, because I have some ideas in my head that I really want to get out, but I need the technical language so I can express myself, if you know what I'm saying. But I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you in the next video.